Hello all, welcome to Forward IAS. Today we are going to discuss some important facts related to Indus Valley Civilization. Indus Valley Civilization is an important topic for prelims as well as mains examination from ancient history. In this session, we are going to discuss the facts related to the civilization based on the Ncert textbooks. Let's begin our session. The first thing we must know about the Indus Valley Civilization is the geographical extent of the civilization. The entire area of Indus Valley Civilization formed a triangular shaped land, and its northern boundary was at Manda, presently Jammu and Kashmir, and the southern extent was at Daimabad, Ahmednagar, Maharashtra. The western boundary was at Sutkajandar, and the eastern boundary was at Alamgirpur, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. Here's the detailed map of Indus Valley Civilization. Important places are marked here, like the boundaries, and important places like Mohenjo-daro, Kodiji, Chanhodaro, Surkatoda, Dholvira, etc. These places are very important for the examination. Its location can be asked, and the rivers flowing through this particular regions can be asked. When the settlements of Indus Valley civilizations are considered, about 40% of the settlements were located on the banks of river Indus, and the other settlements were located on the plains formed by river Saraswati and river Ganga. So, some historians call this Indus Valley civilization as Indus-Saraswati civilization. Also, the first site to be discovered about this civilization was Harappa in the 1920s. So, this civilization is also known as Harappan civilization. Very few settlements were found at the region of Gujarat and Maharashtra. The next thing we want to study about Indus Valley civilization is its town planning. This civilization was very unique when compared to other contemporary civilizations like Egyptian civilization, Mesopotamian civilization. It had a unique way of town planning. They followed a grid pattern for their cities, and these roads were cut across each other at right angles. As you can see in this particular image, a grid pattern was followed for the design of cities. At some cities, some towns like Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Kalibangan and Surkatoda, there were large gateways at the entry point of the cities. At Dholvira, a place located in state of Gujarat, a signboard was discovered, and the signboard contained a short inscription, maybe it's name of the place. It was made out of white gypsum paste. Another important feature, very important feature of Indus Valley cities is the city was divided into two parts. The western part is known as the citadel, and the eastern part is known as the lower town. The western part, that is citadel, the ruling class lived there, and at lower town, other service communities were lived. The workers and other persons people lived outside the cities. The important cities of Harappan civilization was Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chanhodaro, Lothal, Kalibangan and Benvali. About 250 sites were discovered as part of Indus Valley civilization, but these six cities are the major cities. These six can be considered as the major cities. Harappan, Mohenjo-daro, Chanhodaro were located at present-day Pakistan, Lothal at Gujarat, Kalibangan, Rajasthan, and Benvali to Hisar district, Haryana. The Harappan civilization cities contained many different kinds of buildings like private houses and large houses surrounded by smaller units and other public structures. In all these houses, the doorways and windows were rarely opened into the main street. They were opened sideways. Also, they used a particular kind of bricks for the construction of these buildings. It is called burnt bricks. It is very strong, And at the same time, other civilizations like Egyptian civilization and Mesopotamian civilization, they used dried bricks and baked bricks. Indus Valley civilization had many buildings, many type of buildings like single-storied buildings, multiple-storied buildings, etc. In all these houses, bathrooms were located inside the rooms, and also hearth were found at some rooms. Very big houses had a well in front of their in their courtyard. Public buildings were the granaries, dockyards, and the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro. There were 6 granaries located at Harappa, and there were granaries located at Lothal and Kalibangan. The dockyard was at Lothal, Gujarat. The Great Bath is believed to have some religious importance. It was related to some religious rituals. Maybe like they used this Great Bath in their religious functions, or and this is the image of Great Bath, and you can see some steps leading to this area where the water is located, and the water was coming from a large reservoir. The streets and drains of Indus Valley civilization is very impressive. Even the small villages and the towns had very planned streets and drains. This placing of this streets and drains, and placing of doorways and windows to the sideways, these are all part of, or this indicates the health and hygienic consciousness of Indus Valley people. Every household had a drainage facility. Small drains were joined with large drains, and for this large drains at regular intervals there was some pits for collecting the waste, and these were regularly cleaned by these people. Okay, and another important feature of Indus Valley civilization is the craft and industries of the civilization. Indus Valley civilization basically was a Bronze Age civilization. Bronze is an alloy. It is an alloy of tin and copper. In order to make these bronze objects, the copper was probably obtained from the K3 mines of Rajasthan, and tin was obtained from Afghanistan. The bronze structures of Indus Valley civilization had only a small percentage of tin. Maybe this is because importing tin from Afghanistan and other regions was very expensive, or like that. They used to make small tools and weapons, very simple tools and weapons from these bronze, and vessels were made out of copper and bronze. They used jewelries. They used gold and silver jewelries, but the gold was very light in color, because the silver content was very high in the Harappan gold. Silver ornaments are very commonly used than gold. Some beads were made out of precious and semi-precious stones. Long barrel-shaped cornelian beads were there. And another important material used by this Indus Valley people was steatite. Steatite was used to make beads, seals, bracelets, buttons, and fire in a form of glass. And pottery of Indus Valley civilization is very impressive. There were only few handmade potteries. Most of the pottery was made out of wheel. Wheel-made pottery was there. They made a unique red, shiny and glossy red pottery, and it was painted using black color. Geometrical designs, images of plants and animals. In some very few potteries, some scenes from stories were painted. Another important and unique feature of Indus Valley civilization is the cotton weaving. Cotton was cultivated in Indus Valley regions. A piece of cotton, a piece of woven cotton was discovered from Mohenjo-daro. Spindle rolls were used for spinning of this cotton, and weavers wore cloths of wool and cotton. Indus Valley people practiced other crafts like bricklaying, board making, seal making, shell making, etc. Seal making was an important craft of Indus Valley people. They made seals using a material called steatite, and in that particular seals they inscribed images of animals, trees, semi-human, humans, etc. From shells they made different types of ornaments. Now let's see what are the trade and commercial relationships of Indus Valley people. Initially they were only internal trade. Later they started external trades. They had trade relations with Rajasthan, Afghanistan, Iran, etc. In some of the Mesopotamian texts, the Indus Valley region is mentioned as Meluha. Also, two intermediate stations also mentioned in that particular text. They are Dilmun and Makan. The main items of trade was agriculture produce, industrial raw materials like copper, metallic ores, stones, semi-precious shells, etc. Besides these raw materials, they also traded finished products like metals, ornaments, weapons, pottery, etc. There is no evidence of using metallic money or currency. Instead, they practiced barter system. For conducting trade and commerce, they used different types of weights and measures. Cubical and spherical shaped weights were there. It was made out of materials called Ncert, jasper and agate. The weighing was done in 16 or its multiples. In modern times also, we used this kind of weighing measures, like 16 annas formed 1 rupee. For measuring length, they used sticks inscribed with measurement marks. It was discovered from many Harappan sites. One was made out of bronze. Now let's see what are the agricultural produce of Indus Valley people. There were a number of granaries discovered from Indus Valley sites. This clearly suggests that Indus Valley people produced large quantities of grains. Wheat and barley were the major produce of Indus Valley people. Besides that, they cultivated rice in some areas of Gujarat and Haryana. There were 6 varieties of millets. Along with wheat, barley and rice, they cultivated peas, beans, sesame, mustard, cotton, etc. Usually this cultivation was done along the banks of the river, and they sowed seeds in November. There is no evidence of using a hoe or a plowshare, but at some places at Rajasthan like Kalibangan, some furrow marks were discovered. This suggests that they used plowshare, but it was made out of wood. For harvesting, they used stone sickles. In that areas, there were no channel or canal irrigation, but they used some nalas or dam-like structures to store water. Along with agriculture, they also practiced domestication of animals. They domesticated sheep, goat, bull, buffalo, elephant, camel, pig, dog and cat. At some places like Mohenjo-daro, Surkatoda, Kalibangan, Lothal, bones of horses was discovered. Indus Valley people knew about horses, but there is no evidence that they domesticated horses. Now let's see what are the different arts of Indus Valley people. We have already discussed the crafts and technology used by Indus Valley people. Important artworks were seal making, stone statues, terracotta figurines, etc. Bronze statues were very rare, but one of the brilliant examples of bronze artwork is the dancing girl statue discovered from Mohenjo-daro. This girl is posing in the Tribhanga posture, and another a torso was discovered. It was made out of red sandstone. Seal making, we have already discussed that seals mainly made out of a material called steatite, and the seals had only short inscriptions, pictures of animals, trees, semi-human, humans, etc. This is one of the important seal of Indus Valley people. This is the PASUPATHI Mahadeva, which was the chief male deity of Indus Valley people. It was discovered from Mohenjo-daro. This PASUPATHI Mahadeva with 3 face, 2 horns, and he is sitting in a yogi-like posture. This yogi is surrounded by a tiger, a rhino, buffalo, and an elephant, and there are 2 deers standing at his feet. This is an important seal of Indus Valley civilization. And another important statue discovered from Indus Valley civilization, Indus Valley sites, is the bearded man. He is considered to be a priest or a priest king. He wears a shawl on the left shoulder, and we can see some patterns in this shawls, and these patterns are known as trefoil pattern. This particular statue is made out of material called steatite, and this statue, this priest king, wears an amulet here. These are the important features of this statue. Let's see the script of Indus Valley people. There is no clear idea about the script of Harappan civilization because it is not yet deciphered. This Harappan script is mainly pictographic. It is not alphabetical, it is pictographic. It contained only few words. Usually it is written from right to left. Now let's discuss the religious practices of Indus Valley people. In Harappa, numerous terracotta figurines of women have been found. In one figure, a plant is shown growing out of the embryo of a woman. Probably this image represented the goddess of earth. So, Harappans worshipped earth as their fertility goddess and worshipped her. Also, they worshipped their male deity. We have already discussed PASUPATHI Mahadeva was worshipped. They also worshipped animals, trees, some inanimate stones, etc. Humped bull was one of the chief animal which was worshipped by Harappans. Other animals which were surrounded in the seal of PASUPATHI Mahadeva was also worshipped. People tree worship was very common among Harappans. It is still practicing. Harappans were Fallu worshippers. They worshipped linga and yoni symbols. And in Harappan civilization or Harappan sites, there is no temples have been discovered. But at Lothal, at Gujarat, a practice of fire cult have been discovered. Considering all the evidences about this Harappan sites, this sites was not ruled by any priest or priest class. It was possibly ruled by a class of merchants. This is all about the religious practices of Indus Valley people. Now let's see how the disposal of dead was done in Indus Valley civilization. There were some scattered burials as well as discrete cemeteries. Cremation was also practiced by Harappans, and the skeletons were placed in north-south direction, head pointing towards the north. Along with these dead bodies, an earthen pot consists of food grains, small weapons, ornaments were also placed. In some sites, animals were also buried along with the dead body. This indicates that Harappans believed in life after death. Now let's see how this civilization originated, its maturity, and what are the reasons for its end. Harappan civilization emerged during the period 2500 BC to 1750 BC. The mature phase of Harappan civilization was from 2200 BC to 2000 BC. By around 1750, major cities like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro were disappeared. main reasons for the end of the civilization was the decreasing fertility of the soil. This is because increasing salinity in the soil. Also, some believes the iron inversion was one of the main reasons for end of Harappan civilization. Another possible reason is the flood of Indus and its tributaries and other rivers. These are the main reasons for the end of Indus Valley civilization. This is all about Harappan civilization. Hope you guys understood all the topics discussed here. If you like this initiative, please hit the like button. Comment your valuable suggestions and opinions in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. And have a great day. Thank you.